right. My next guest is Kai Ekinci. Welcome, Kai, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Gretchen. Great seeing you again.
And for those of you who don't know Kai, he is one of the partners for Office Divvy. And if people don't know what Office Divvy is, they're obviously not on social media. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what Office Divvy is for those who may not know?
Very simply put, we are a company that empowers entrepreneurs. And we do that by providing some of our core service offering, which is either a professional co-location facility, a co-office facility, so to speak, where one could have their business location, front desk staff, their mailing address, and the space for either doing solo work or conducting meetings with their clients or team members. And the second silo in our services is inbound, high-touch professional call answering, phone answering, which is like a boutique call center, and services like virtual assistant services, and a little bit of online and social media services.
Okay.
So we surround folks with the common pain points, so to speak, when they are starting up or when they are suffering from growing pains.
That was going to be my question, who your typical clients are.
The typical, there has been like a very diverse profile, I would say.
So there is no typical client.
There is no typical client. I mean, there is definitely the folks who are starting up and want to be conservative in taking on overhead in professional fields. It could be like a web company. It could be a marketing company, online e-commerce company. It could be solo practitioner type, like a sole practitioner rather, an attorney, a financial professional, a new real estate company. So those folks are typically, work from home professionals. They have a functional home office, but they have a need to have a professional business location that would be there whether they are at their offices or not. And the second type is folks who are outside of Flagler County, but for one reason or another want to add a satellite office location in Flagler County. That's typically the co-location basis. And there is also the type of folks who have done it all, so more mature type of business person who do not necessarily want to take on sometimes the overhead and sometimes the headache of running their own office. So they outsource that to us. And on the phone answering services, really it's very, very diverse. We have since you are a chamber, like we have a regional chamber of commerce as one of our clients who we answer phones for on their behalf. We have a highly acclaimed book publisher and author development consultant in New York. We answer his phones. We have service companies like AC repair companies, mobile PC repair company, a gutter and screen installation company. There is really dozens of companies spanning, I would say, 20 different industries in that particular service silo.
Well, sounds like you cover a lot and you do a lot. And you've been doing it for 5 years. Congratulations.
Yes, we are very excited. We had a very pride moment. We just celebrated our 5th anniversary Friday the 16th, or the 15th rather.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Gretchen.
And what do you attribute your success to?
I mean, if staying alive 5 years is a measurement of success, definitely.
It's funny. Joe Pizzulli, who was on the show, he just said the same thing.
Oh, really?
He had last man standing. So
absolutely. I mean, success is we don't consider ourselves having reached the success in terms of our goals and where we want to be. Not just on the numbers front, but in terms of the kind of things that we want to do under our company. But certainly, I mean, all the folks who stayed afloat during the years of starting with late 2008, 2009, 2010, especially, that's a measurement of success for sure. But 5 years, jokingly we say we're over the hill now. You never know. Business is difficult, of course, but I think part of our growth, we attribute that to helping others grow. Because, we have this interesting parallel. We are only as successful as the companies we either save money or be more productive or find better ways of doing business, or just even by being a sounding board, like just by having them run ideas off of us and things of that nature. So as they grow, obviously we grow, they use more services. I would really say that's the measurement of success for us.
Mm-hmm. I know that you've all done a lot and you've brought some interesting events and some interesting opportunities to Flagler County. Will we see that continue?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Like, I bet you're referring to like the Entrepreneur Night event. Yeah, that, that event is very interesting. It's, a lot of people are appreciating that event, as a grassroots event, as a transparent event. And what happened there is that it attracted not only people who are currently in business in Flagler County and people who provide services and support to those businesses, but also it attracted people who are not necessarily yet in business, but are entertaining the idea. So the aspiring entrepreneur profile, I find that very interesting, And secondly, a lot of folks, I would say, we were just doing a tally. It was over 1,200 unique individuals who attended Entrepreneur Night so far. And I would say 150 or so are from outside of Flagler County. So I think what we're going to see on that event is that I think we're going to see continued growth, maybe get on the radar nationally with interesting speakers and bring some interesting people here. But also now probably it's time to once in a while take that event outside of Flagler County, even though it's been a very Flagler-centric event. We do think that it's going to benefit those folks who are Flagler-like environments, which we categorize as like underprivileged in some ways, underserved in some ways on the business front, like a suburban, semi-urban environments. So we want to take it to cities and towns like Flagler County and see what happens. One thing that I know will happen that it will keep doing so will keep Flagler County in the center of the business community because it's a Flagler-centric event to begin with.
Well, interesting. Well, I know that your attendance has been amazing, and one of these years I will get there. But
the last event was big. There were like over 250 people there.
That's amazing.
And it's good and bad. You know, I mean, when it grows that big, you're unable to any longer speak to each and every person. You know. And such an interesting thing, in the last event, there were 70 people or so who were attending it for the first time.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I think so.
That says a lot for our business community if we're able to attract, some people who we hope are, bright, talented, entrepreneurial, and
absolutely.
That's a really good thing.
I think half of the game is really that encouragement to get them either started or think bigger. And I think connecting with fellow entrepreneurs and those who provide this kind of support and services to entrepreneurs, I think is a good way of doing that.
Okay. And before the show, you were talking about another exciting thing that you all are working on.
Yes. Thanks for bringing that up. We are working on two things that I think are going to be interesting for us, and I think it's going to be interesting for the Flagler County business community. One is, practically we consider ourselves a business percolator. So it's a hybrid incubator / startup accelerator that's privately owned. And one thing we're going to do is that we're going to announce an incubation special for a particular type of company. It's going to be a contest-based, probably an essay-based contest. And we are going to give away 1 year of location membership at Office TV, surrounding that with virtual assistant services and with professional phone answering for this particular company, along with a group of professionals as an advisory board, like a group of attorneys, marketing professionals, and bankers, so that the company has a way to grow and scale, but also throw some money into, give them away, give away some money so they could also get started on the right foot. So this is probably coming up in the next I would say month or so, we will make the announcement. And the second thing is that we're actively working on adding a second location in Flagler County, maybe the other end of the town where in the area where the chamber is located, 100 corridor or town center or airport area. So we're actively working on that. So if we find the right deal, we'll make a move on that as well.
And that's just because you're outgrowing your current space, or you want to just broaden, or what's the rationale behind that?
Well, it's a couple of things. Number one is that we do believe that having a second location outside of the north part of Palm Coast, in the southern part, is going to add value to our existing membership base. Mm-hmm. It might also attract further folks from like Ormond and Daytona Beach. Mm-hmm. But also the kind of move we're going to do in this space is going to be a little different. It's more open, more collaborative environment, hopefully. So the service offering, I think, is going to get richer through that. So I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully it'll work, and we'll make that announcement soon too.
All right. Okay. Well, we've only got a couple minutes left. So how do people get in touch with you if they're interested in finding out more about Office Divvy?
The best way is online, of course. Go to officedivvy.com, and Divvy is spelled D like David, I-V-V-Y, officedivvy.com, or just give us a call, 386-445-4153, or really come to one of the Entrepreneur Nights, which takes place the last Tuesday of every month, and the next one is coming up at La Piazza Cafe in European Village on the 26th of March.
All right. I'm going to try to make that one.
Come. They got excellent food, I tell you, if I bribe you through that.
You know what's really funny is that we're going to feature them in the Fantastic Flagler, and I wrote a great write-up about them, and I've never eaten there. So I have to kind of come full circle and actually eat there.
The best fine dining Italian cuisine in town, for sure.
Okay. All right. So that's the 26th. Well, thank you. As always, Kai, it's a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot.